All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of the Adventures of an Entrepreneur. Bryan Felder here, super pumped. And the goal of the podcast is to help people that are either working for someone, own a business, or are entrepreneur that are trying to grow their business into other ancillary services or just scale their business. And so the cool thing is, our guest today is Josh with EcoPurge Junk Removal. I'm super pumped. Josh, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So one thing that's really important, you guys, make sure you please hit the like button and subscribe because you are about to go on a ride like never before. You guys are going to hear all about trash, and you're going to hear about trash and trash services and donations. So let's kick it off. Josh, tell me a little bit. Have you ever done a podcast before?
Nope, first time.
For the first time and forever. That's like one of my favorite songs, y'all. It's like crazy. I think it's from Frozen, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it's all good. Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where were you born? Where were you raised?
Born and raised in Maryland. Grew up in Maryland and D.C. Just started getting into Virginia, and it's pretty nice out here, I have to say. Totally different from Maryland.
Okay. So growing up, you said you were...
Grew up in Maryland.
Grew up in Maryland. What part of Maryland?
Gaithersburg.
Oh, okay.
Gaithersburg, Rockville area.
Okay. Went to grade school, middle school, high school, everything?
Yep.
Okay. And then were you working at all?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. One thing I know about you, you are a hustler. Like you grind more. Like honestly, if you were coffee, I'd get you a grinder because you grind more than anyone I've ever met. You will grind. So graduate from high school. Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Did some college, but basically just started working in the restaurant industry.
Restaurants. Okay.
Yep.
Why restaurants?
Family. That's what my father was always in, hotels and restaurants. We owned restaurants growing up in Adams Morgan and Bethesda, so just been around it my whole life.
Ooh, and it was it wasn't working for someone, it was actually working for yourselves.
No, I did work for myself for a little bit. I did help open a restaurant or two. I worked with my dad growing up behind the bar when I was single digits slinging drinks in D.C. when we weren't allowed to, but awesome. It was a different time. So just got into it, and I got into high-end dining and bartending.
And so bring me back for a sec. What kind of food was it? What kind of restaurant were you?
Steakhouse. It was actually Morton's Steakhouse in downtown D.C.
Okay. And before that, with your dad, what kind of restaurant? What kind of food?
We actually had, even though we're not Italian, we had an Italian restaurant in Adams Morgan back in the 90s.
So like chicken parm and lasagna.
Yep. Clams Casino.
Okay.
All that fancy stuff from back in the day that they don't do too much anymore.
Do you know how to cook?
Yes. So
obviously working in the restaurant business, you're going to know how to cook.
Definitely.
Restaurants are hard work, yes?
It is definitely a grind. Hard grind.
Hard grind.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say the biggest challenge working in the restaurant business? Whether it was at Morton's or whether it was with your dad, what would be the hardest?
Just dealing with people.
In what way?
Every way. I mean, you're providing them a service, and if the kitchen's late with your food, you're the one that they see, so you're the one that gets the attitude, and, they're upset with you even though it's not your fault.
And people get upset. So yeah. I get it. And the crazy part is you're still in the people business. Junk removal.
Yeah, I can't get away from people. I just love service industry, so.
Okay. And you're
just
good at it.
Just kind of pivoted some.
And you are good at it. I know that for a fact. You've helped out several of our clients on the real estate side, which has been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And our clients love you. Tell us a little bit about, so how'd you go from Morton's to trash and junk removal?
Oh, my wife got tired of me working late nights and not being home, especially after we had children. So I decided to get into contracting work. Yeah. Started a contracting business with an old partner of mine.
Okay.
We ended up parting ways, and I got into the painting industry, and I just, after a few jobs of needing junk removal and calling these big names that I see on TV all the time, and after a few time I'm getting quotes and it being something different, or they just don't show up, I decided, maybe this is something I can, come to the table with my hospitality background and bring it into junk removal.
Well, and I would think junk removal is pretty saturated, highly competitive. But you saw a need where, and this is what's really cool, and this is what I would tell everyone, if there's need in a marketplace where you saw a need because you were doing the contracting work, the painting work, and there was opportunity for like, hey, we're trying to rely on third party. Why don't I just bring in junk removal in-house, offer those services to our existing clients? It really allowed you to go ahead and offer an ancillary service to supplement what you currently do as your full-time.
Definitely.
Which is awesome. And so how did EcoPurge come up? Why was it EcoPurge? Why was it not like Josh's trash?
Because we try not to throw everything out. We want to reuse everything that we can. We did help a lot with the refugees getting bused up to DC from down south, helping furnish a lot of their homes. Some of my contractors, I was able to help them out. Homeless shelters. I honestly try not to do too much for Goodwill since they resell it, but I love just helping people out when we can.
Well, it's this common theme in your life I've seen, and as I'm hearing you talk about how it's all about service, and it's being around people, and it's being around like, how can I connect with people and offer additional value? And so like, just like you're going ahead and leveraging a junk removal service to supplement the main contracting business, the junk removal business has taken on a business and a life of its own, but you can also help serve other people. So it sounds like your mantra is more about service to people, and your impact is, how do I serve people in any regard that they need, whether it's construction, whether it's furnishing. And that's really powerful. And so as an entrepreneur, which you absolutely are, you have really tied it to more of a why. And because of your wife and your kids, you wanted to create some balance that allow you to be around for your kids, which I think is very commemorable. So hats off to you. Super impressed.
Thank you.
Plus, I love the logo.
We try.
Oh, you know what? It sounds like you don't try. It sounds like you do. You're like Nike. You just do it. And I'm plugging Nike. So you'll get a pair of Nike shoes. It's all good. Get those Air Jordans, which is cool. Josh, what would you say your biggest challenge is? Like, if you're going to be like, my biggest challenge right now, what would it be?
The biggest challenge is getting the name and image out there, because I don't have the overhead to do all these, TV commercials and radio spotlights here and there on the business, because I need more business to build the capital to do all that.
For sure.
But it's really just fighting the big people and getting my name out there. Even though my price is lower than a lot of the competition, it's still just getting my image and name out there for people to know who I am, what we offer, and what we can do for you.
Well, I think the people you have on staff is really cool. And I met your new salesperson, which was awesome. She seems really like a go-getter.
She's going to be our 2025
rock star,
match.
superstar. She's going to crush it.
Burn everything down.
It's awesome. Actually, I think if you look at it, it's not just about pricing, right? You say you're some of the lowest pricing in the market, but I think just what I've worked with you and our clients have worked with you, it's not just about the pricing, it's about your service. Can you talk a little bit about what makes you different in terms of how you serve and the service you guys offer?
I definitely try not to say no to anything. If you want something out of your house or your possession, I'll find a way to take it from you and get rid of it for you. Some people might say it's a little overbearing, but we do let you know the night before we confirm. I give you another text message or email, whatever you prefer, the morning before when we're on the way there, about 30 to 60 minute notice. We take before pictures, after pictures. We like to do a walk with you to make sure that there's nothing else you need from us. And we just love seeing the smile and the happiness on our customers' face when we remove all the stuff they don't want there anymore and they see how much more room they have.
Well, one thing that I thought was really cool is that you guys, your guys have brooms on the trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you guys sweep up. Like, I was blown away that it wasn't just take the household items or the goods or whatever, because you guys also not just do household items, you do a lot of other things. You guys are sweeping up. Like, there are pictures of like broom and pans and like dustpans, and you're picking stuff. So what items do you guys take? Like, what do you guys remove? When you say I'll take anything, like, is it just
we go into full job sites and we do all the trash, we do all the construction debris, but we also work in a lot of homes. And that's mainly why we have brooms, is people are living in the home. It's not a contracting or job site. So we want to keep it clean and clean up after ourselves.
That's great.
So the homeowner doesn't have to do it. But I've gone in and removed treadmills to where I've had to disassemble the treadmill because it was assembled in a room and it can't be taken back out unless it's disassembled. So we've done that for people. I've delivered stuff for people before that just wanted to give stuff away, but they had no way of transporting it. So they asked for some help, and of course, I'm not going to say no.
So you'll disassemble stuff. It's not just, hey,
I'll demo.
client, you'll demo.
I've demoed
So you got like a sledgehammer.
floors. I've got everything. Saws, sledgehammers, drills.
Okay.
If I don't have it, I'll go rent it.
I mean, I think
We'll get the job done.
I think you told me of a story where you even trim trees to be able to go ahead and do tree
We
debris.
actually cut down a 20-foot tree behind a house and trimmed a 25-foot tree in the front of the house, which was very interesting.
And took that debris off site and dumped it.
Yep.
So you offered donation,
Yep.
haul away, junk removal. You'll also go ahead and demo.
We'll demo, and depending on the circumstances, I've done deliveries as well.
All right, so I got to know, what's the craziest or most unusual thing you've ever removed from a house or a job site?
I don't think it's the craziest, but the craziest job has been firewood removal.
Firewood,
Which was from like 150 foot tree. A person got cut down from behind their house.
Okay.
Cut down all into firewood. That was about an 8-foot by 16-foot, 5-foot high mound of firewood.
So related to me, or make it like 50 pieces of wood?
Probably,
100.
let me
300.
just say it was about 3 tons.
3 tons of firewood.
Is what it came out to weigh. It was about just shy of 3 tons.
I mean, I would have had you bring some firewood to mine. I love
And
firewood.
it was in the far backyard of this person's house, down a hill, where we actually had to go get wheelbarrows and wheelbarrow it up.
Okay, so by any means necessary.
Yes, any means necessary.
Any means necessary. Josh, what do you do for fun? What's fun?
Other than hanging out with my kids or dog, gym, bike riding.
Oh, bike riding, like
Bicycle. My wife made me put my motorcycle away right now.
Okay, so like road biking.
Yes,
street
road biking.
Road biking. So not like mountain biking.
I do like mountain biking, but I live in the city, so I don't really have a lot of mountains by me.
Probably
I
not.
do get into Rock Creek Park whenever I can, but mainly street biking.
I love it. Actually, it's pretty cool where you're able to balance out both family and work. You will grind wherever you need to by any means necessary. Like, love that. What in your motto is something like, if you have the urge, something.
If you have the urge to purge, call
That's it.
EcoPurge.
How cool is that? Like, it's so awesome.
It just flows right off.
It definitely. Oh, there's flow. By any means necessary, right? There's flow. I would say, and just kind of wrapping up, like, would you take one item? Is there like, do people have to have it? Do you come in the house? Would you pick stuff off the street? Like how?
All of the above. I'll take one item. I'll take 100 items. I'll come in your house and take stuff down from upstairs, take it upstairs from downstairs. And I've even had jobs where the people weren't home and they've put everything out on the curb, sent me pictures of it.
That's great.
I did a curbside pickup for you real quick. I take pictures before of the items, and then I take pictures after of the empty space.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. So you're full service.
Full service. You
Do
do
what-
not need to lift a finger. You
And what-
just point and we take care of it for you.
And then lastly, what areas do you serve? Like where are you just in like Maryland? Where are you
The
guys?
DMV.
Anywhere in
DC,
DC,
Maryland,
Virginia.
Virginia. I've been to Baltimore, DC, and I've been to Fredericksburg
Okay. So
and Clarksburg.
distance is not an issue.
We're there.
I love it. Actually, Josh, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. You know, the goal is I love hearing from people that are willing to take the risks and take the step out and be like, you know what? I could have stayed in the restaurant business. I could have stayed here, but you know what? I need to create a better life for my family and I. And I wanted to have the flexibility and freedom to be able to build my own thing. And I think what's really, really cool is you went from a hospitality business and you stayed in hospitality, just a different service line industry.
Yep.
From restaurant food to construction and hauling, junk removal, downsizing, which is just really cool. But
You see the happiness on everybody's face when you're done with the job, when you're feeding them or getting stuff out of their house.
oh, I guarantee if you came to my house in Purge, I'd be real happy. There's all kinds of stuff to get out of my
Until
house.
your wife sees how much more space she has to fill with new stuff.
And that would happen, which is really cool. But Josh, thank you so much for coming on today. You guys, remember, like the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. More to come. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Go Purge.
Oh, yeah.